now.
Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? We're here with the gang.
The gang.
The
Once
gang
again.
is back. All right. So we have Franco once again, the man behind the beats. We got Prado, the legend herself, and
Legend.
yours truly, trying to make sure that the stream doesn't fall apart. But I think we're good. I think we got everything sorted. We've got everyone's faces on the screens, and we're good to go. So today we're going to talk about Men in Black, Prado song that came out. When did it come out?
December
2020?
December
Last
5th,
year?
yeah.
December 5th, yeah.
Nice. So it's been a little while. You guys have been able to live with it for a bit, and you probably know how it goes pretty well at this point, but you're about to learn some new things about how we made it, some little secret sounds inside of it, and see the steps of every single moment of how it was made, in essence. Going all the way back to when Prado made first acapella over Franco's beat, and then we'll see the Logic file from her, we'll see the FL file from Franco, and then you'll see where it ended up in Logic with me and how I kind of just put a little bow on top of what magic they made. So yeah, let's go into it. Let's start with this. Franco, you made a beat. Tell us about why you made this beat and why it ended up ending up in Prado's laptop.
I don't know. This beat is literally one of the. It's like just another one of my beats. Honestly, like there's usually some where I'll spend a lot of time making, and I know like I'm targeting Prado or Emily or whoever, and it's like, yeah, like I know you're gonna do this one, and I know you're gonna do a song, and like I'll know that, but then there are some where I don't even know if it's whatever, and usually those are the ones that they get a placement, or like Prado will write something over it and it's crazy, and it's Men in Black is definitely one of those beats. So it's like I make a lot of beats all the time, and I send Prado tons of packs, like hundreds, maybe thousands, just a lot of stuff, and she just writes all over it. And this was one of the ones that just
magic.
Damn, like when she sent it back, I was still in the Philippines, like
I remember you're
the same month same month that I made it, you know, in front of my uncle's house. She sent it back, and I had the chance to play it at a studio there, and I was just like blown away, like, damn, you're really gonna do this song? This is crazy. So yeah, that's kind of it's really straightforward, like this beat and this song, I think. I'm sure you can explain later, even in your process.
This is for sure the most simple song that we've maybe ever made, to be honest. Like it kind of it's pretty straight ahead. There's a few little tricks I did on my end, but like in comparison to Gucci Store, this thing is pretty straight ahead. It's just let Prado go hard, and you know the beat just kind of supports that vision from bottom to top. But yeah, so Prado, for you obviously get tons of gold from Franco, and it's kind of an embarrassment of riches kind of situation where it's like, I don't know, this is all great. But like, what was the process for you once you got this instrumental and probably a bunch of other ones where you're like, oh, okay, let me try something over this? Did it just come quick, or what was the story?
It was like, honestly, this was very quick. I had the melody in my brain when I was on the phone with my friend, and I was like, Men in Black, all sluts, no lie. Like I was like, men are such sluts, like they're such whores, like I hate them all. And then I was like, made that like kind of rhyme scheme, and I was like, Xander's gonna love this. It's just like Seven Rings. And so, but just like hip hop, actually black. And and so, you know, we made the demo, and I think the demo, I don't know if the demo vocals are the same as the final.
I don't. We'll hear them and we'll see.
Yeah, because genuinely, like I'll play them the like my scratch version of it, like my scratch demo that I made, and I remember I made it like in the apartment in Koreatown. Yeah, and then it was one of the songs I showed you, Xander. Remember, I was like, oh, and then there's this song Men in Black, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is like a cute little song, and then I like kind of was like, oh, this is like it was a whole beat, and then I just kind of chopped it into like sections for like the doon 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 and like all that kind of stuff, because I just heard like Power Glide
Right.
by Rich Married, so I was like,
yeah.
you know, that was my point of reference. But do you want me to share the?
Well, yeah, we can talk a bit more and then share it. I just want to wait for a few, if there's other people that are gonna kind of trickle in here, and then we'll start going into the more of the details. But yeah, it's been such a long time since we even finished this song, and you know, on top of waiting for it to get released, and then it's been a little while since it's been out. So like, we're gonna have to remind each other how this was all made. But like,
yeah, no, I honestly know that I sent you like 2 versions and then it was done. Like I don't think there was much to this. Like,
no, for sure. By the time I heard the Xander editions, it was damn near like finished. Like maybe like the first time I heard it, it was only like 2 mixes away.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, it's done now, and like this is it. I'm like, oh geez,
you're like,
that's
why?
crazy. So yeah, and I love when that happens. I also love like long, grueling process songs.
Yeah, every song needs something different, right? That's just kind of the nature of it.
Exactly.
Guys, I just got hit with the 10 minutes remaining on Zoom thing. I didn't get hit with this ever before, but now Zoom is being upset with me. So we might have to do a little hang up and recall, just so you know. But we got 10 minutes, so let's chill. So yeah, so Franco, when did you make the beat? This is like how many years ago?
December. This was December 2019.
Crazy. Yeah.
A month before the world
collapsed on its
for sure
ass,
because I remember making it in the Philippines, and that's when I went for a vacation, and while I was there, it wasn't perfect opportunity for me to cook up in a different environment, different place, different feeling, different everything, and it was like no pressure, just have fun, do whatever. And I usually make a ton of stuff, even though I am in vacation mode. I end up always end up doing that, like, you know, that one time. Nice. Yeah, but so almost a year and a half ago, I want to say. And then it doesn't take long for me before I send it to Prado, before I think, okay, no, this is a pack for sure. And then, you know, I usually send it like 5 to 10, sometimes 20 at a time. I'll get back. I won't hear back for a while. I'm like, oh damn, like you didn't do. And then next thing you know, here's an EP.
Well, yeah,
like
I think
that happens.
We'll touch on this probably a few times as we go through more of Prado songs, as we, you know, as more stuff gets released and all that. But like, I've said this before, but I'll say it again and again. Like, you guys have a massive catalog of songs that have been built up over the last 3-4 years, right? So there are literally EPs worth of music that may or may not see the light of day one day. So
it will see the light of day.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, there's a lot of gold in there.
Day, I promise. I'm trying to make sure of it to see the light of day. God damn.
Also, thank you for entering the chat. Anyone that's in here, love the track. Thank you. This was a labor of love, and I'm glad that it's out in the world. If any of you have questions at any time about anything, just want to hear about our opinions on stuff or why we did what we did in the song and all that stuff, we're just a bunch of nerds. So ask us anything about any part of it, from the technicality side to the big picture side to why the branding is the way it is. All that stuff is interesting to talk about. So we're here to just hang out and chat and all that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the Zoom now, and I'm going to call you guys back, and then we'll get into Prado showing the very, very well. I'm trying to think about it. Yeah,
should I start?
Let's start with Franco, because Franco made the beat, and then Prado has the Logic file where she went in after that. And then Franco, did you actually do any production after that, or was that it for it?
Listen, when I show you, it's 45 seconds. My beat, the final, is 45 seconds.
Great. Okay, so we'll start with showing that, and then we'll go from there into Prado, and then we'll show mine after. Cool. So I'm just gonna hang up on the Zoom. Love you guys. Talking to you in a sec. It's just yours truly here hanging out. Okay, I'm gonna make a little new one. And let's see, I gotta make a little new meeting. And I'm gonna invite some people. Hope you guys are having a lovely day. I hope all your dreams are coming true. And I hope you guys enjoy learning something from this, because I love making music with these people. They're just fun, exciting people that make exciting stuff. And I love being a part of it. So, okay, I think they're back. There's Franco and Benita. Boom, boom. And let's get them going in here.
I'm in.
He's in. We're good. Share. Boom. And you're back. All right. So we're going to have... Yes, thank you. Okay, so we're going to have Franco share his screen here in FL. You're going to see the stems, how it all happened. And then we'll get into it. So, Franco, you want to share your screen?
Yes, I do. Once oh, there it is. It says host disabled.
Well, fine. Maybe I'll allow it. Maybe I'll allow you.
Please enable me real quick.
Maybe I'll allow you to share.
Mind enabling me real quick?
You mind enabling me?
Let me
share sound. Share sound.
Share
always.
sound.
Remember the bottom left. Share sound.
Great. Okay. So
do you guys see that?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna exit this. I'm gonna flip over to here. Boom. And we are in. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm sharing this. Yeah. Okay. We're all good.
Okay. Cool.
Let's get into it, sir.
Let's get into it. So I always start my beats generally music before drums. I rarely start with drums. Just because I feel like the music dictates what the drums can be. So for this instance, I just pulled up an ARP using this thing here. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yep.
The Anna to it. Cool. And it goes like this.
I love that thing.
That's it, right? That's it. And then I'm pretty sure I did drums right away after. So just a running hi-hat throughout the whole thing with claps. And then low end. That's a tag. Just the homies tag.
Is it light these bitches up, Franco?
Yeah. It's fire. And I added one more thing here. Like a little.
Yeah.
This is like 10 sounds. So yeah, that's it. And I added strings just to support the ARP. So all in all together. And there's one sound that I'll show later that didn't make it. And it's like this weird shiny piano. I'll play it in a sec. But yeah, so all in all it goes like this. Some open hats here that just to like
Franco knows I love open hats.
Yeah,
if it's got strings, some arps, and some beautiful percussion in there, Prado sold. Crazy.
And there's this one sound here, I don't know if it made it.
I'll let you know.
Can't really tell, but it goes like.
Nope, didn't make it.
Yo, stop, bro. That could be a whole new beat. Stop.
I've never heard that sound.
Chill.
That's nice.
Like, whoa. export that real quick. You know?
Yeah, export those stems all together. Remix.
I love that.
Let's go.
So
yeah.
So Franco, you started with that ARP, the Anna. Okay, cool. So like, what was your initial? I mean, it's been so long, but like, what were you going for with this? Were you just like messing around and finding sounds, or?
Yeah. Oh, so a little trivia and like fun fact. So if you as you can see from the drums, it all says Southside.
Yep.
When that's from
Yes,
like
sir.
producers know, like Southside is one of my well, he has a splice pack that came out around this time 2 years ago, and as soon as I grabbed that, I was just, it was an opportunity for me to just like make a whole batch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used all his drums
Crazy
from that pack, and yeah, this is me, like honestly, regular day, just another beat. I don't know how many I made that day.
Regular
maybe
Tuesday,
5.
nothing new, nothing
maybe
special.
5, maybe 10. And as you can tell, this whole thing for me on my end is literally 49 seconds long.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even arrange it. That's the thing, right? And when I sent it to Prado, that's it. Like, here you go, 49 seconds. Sometimes I'll have the full thing laid out, just skeleton wise, like 2 minutes or whatever, 3 minutes, and then she'll write the song, build up on it. But this was like, I don't know, enjoy. And she'll show you later how she chopped it up on her in her Logic file. But honestly, that was pretty much it.
So it was really just based off of a feeling, just being like, let's throw another one together. It's the classic, oh, I made this beat in 15 minutes and it ended up being the thing kind of thing.
Yes.
Which to be clear, like never really ends up happening, right?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that for myself, because I like taking my time. I like taking an hour or two usually on a beat. Like, you know, even if I sampled, like I'll just spend so much time on that. But this was really one of the 8 to 15 minutes for sure.
Sometimes
you can tell, like I didn't even.
Yeah, no, this is I can see the file that you sent me, then I can see how I chopped it in my and I'm like, oh well, yeah.
So we'll go through that with Prado.
I have some questions. I'm curious about some things. So the 808, like what was the intention with that? Is it drawing from a certain like inspiration? Because it just drives the whole time. Like there's no room, right? Are you drawing from like a specific genre, subgenre, or are you just kind of going off a feeling for that kind of stuff?
Definitely going off. It's funny that Prado mentioned Power Glide, because now I definitely agree.
Well, that was a reference when I was mixing.
It has the bounce. It has the bounce and the tempo of Power Glide, and I love that song so much. I was not thinking about it. I was not thinking about Power Glide, and I'll always like refer to the influence if I'm asked, or like my inspiration. It was definitely not Power Glide, but hey, it ended sort of sounding like the bounce of it at least. And even the Power Glide, like just the feeling of that, right? It's very driving. Yeah, you're right. And I do love that about this particular beat, because it just gives it the energy, and it's what allows Prado to just kind of go off on the song. And she did do that, and absolutely, I remember hearing it back the first time. I was like, yo, what? Like, yo, thanks for arranging it, by the way. the both of you arranged it for me. I mean, this is like the skeletal build up. It's super easy. The 808s come in right away, basically.
No, I can't believe this song even turned into a song, because usually when I make records that are like just like spitting, they don't usually come out pop, but then like in the demo sounds like extreme, like like it's another breed for sure.
For sure.
The song has many lives, like in a short time.
Cool.
I love this track.
I mean, this is a beautiful example of like, if you start with a great idea, you don't need to try that hard to kind of like force it into something that it's not. Like you can, if you know the song well, you can listen to this beat and know exactly what this is, right? Like it's the heart of it is from day one has just been this, and then it was just about, you know, Prado coming in, doing her thing, and then just making it nice and shiny. That's nice when that's all my job is just go and make it shiny.
and I can't wait to hear, because even on this part, like, I mean, not to jump the gun, but like like everyone knows, like Xander added the ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding. Like it's not here, you know what I mean? Like that was non-existent, and that's like the third phase, you know, like as soon as
Seven
he heard the
rings.
melody, which I can't wait to get into in a second here.
Yeah.
But
cool, man.
I'm honestly done. I have like on this part, there's two other like VSCs that I opened. I tried some crap on there, and I'm sure if you hear it right now, like you're gonna be like, "What? Okay, export that too, please."
Yeah.
Because there was this thing. Hold on.
Same energy.
Me like,
which I don't know what.
I'm
stop,
like,
stop leaking.
Yo, relax.
No, that's what I mean.
Yo, export that.
Anytime I hear like a Uzi style, like just anything, yo, I'm down. Like I'm literally yo, I know.
Another Bjork era shit. Hell yes. Always and forever.
Yeah.
Always and forever. Fun fact, me and Prado love Uzi to death, to life and to death. Like that's definitely a constant source of inspiration, just in so many ways. And when those elements,
Bjork Uzi.
Yeah, like shiny shit,
but
you know, shiny arts, like sparkly crap. Like as soon as I do that shit, it's a wrap. Like I know that she'll bite, and this is another example of that.
Uzi type beats.
Uzi type beats. But I'm glad I can get that off though, just because like I'm such a big fan of that, and you know she does her own thing to it. You won't even like.
Oh, for sure.
You won't even think about Uzi. You know what I mean? Like even if the influence or inspiration is strong, like you won't even. It's like, oh yeah, of course, but it's not what you think. You think of Prado, you think of Prado, like straight up. So, yeah. To be honest, that's it.
Great
on my end.
Sick, man. Well, thanks for sharing this part. Let's get Prado's screen up here, and let's see what she did.
Okay, so I excuse like everybody for hearing what they're about to hear with this really shit vocal, first of all, because it's a very choppy vocal. Like I'm so like this just is a testament, like honestly, to Xander's involvement and his actual like finessery on my vocals. Like that's why I don't work with any other engineers, because like someone already knows how to fucking do it from this shit. So here we go. This is kind of, you can see how I chopped it up here.
Yeah, quite a bit of chopping, eh?
Like a shit ton, but just because like sections like this where it's just like y'all can hear this. Hold on. Oh, hello.
There we go.
Yeah. There
we go.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like,
yo, you did that actually.
Yeah, I added those in, and then the like, and also for here, like I don't know what this is. Sorry, I was muted, but I'm just gonna get this together.
Don't reply.
Yeah, stayed.
Don't reply.
Yeah, that's just me being like, don't reply over and over again. Yeah, but this is the full. I'll just play what I had. It's shitty.
Man in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club at night. Always capping on my line. Why he call me, I decline. Man in black, wanna taste, but we just eliminate. Always capping, never judge. When he message, don't reply. My intuition's deadly, you should stay off of my gun. And my team is hella heavy, we be flexing on your man. I'm a vixen, you a victim, I don't ever show my hands. If you need him, I'ma beat him, call me G for glamorous. I forgot you just a thotty, why you talk to me again? Got my G's on in the club, bitch, I throw a drink again. I don't need another nigga, I don't need another friend, cause I'm on my own shit, you could eat my whole day. Man in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club at night. Always capping on my line. Why?
Wait, okay, nice little tidbit over here. Okay, you know, despite the shitty vocals, I feel like the only thing that made the cut that I think is genius of Xander is this stupid little laugh bullshit here. Like you can
there you go, that's it.
It's my laugh, and you put it in the beginning, and it's like my favorite little tidbit.
Yeah,
about,
that's
like,
sick. That's sick.
My favorite little tidbit about all this shit, like, is just having that fucking laugh in there. And then Was there anything else? Whatever the fuck this is, I don't know what this is.
Let's find out.
Oh yeah.
Don't reply. Don't reply. Don't reply. Don't reply. Don't reply. Don't reply.
Amazing.
That's
that is your voice, and you've just thrown effects on it and stuff.
Yeah, just being like, because I wanted to sound like a nigga, like, and we didn't have no why, like none of that shit.
Not yet, right?
Until until Zulema came through and like finessed the second verse. Like that was literally, this was just all we had.
So this version doesn't have that second verse.
No, remember, like I think I just made it on a like. You were like, oh, this needs a second verse, and then I just ended up adding to your project, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think we ended up actually getting in the studio and like getting it all kind of sorted out.
Did we do it in studio?
I can't. Well, it was in that period where I think we were doing stuff. I honestly can't remember. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, it was so. I don't even remember how we like did it, but everything. I never like touched this project after. Like you can literally hear all my sloppy like, na 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 na. Like it's so dumb, but do you want to?
Well,
do you have any questions?
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, where did this come from? I know it's kind of instinctual for you, but like this type of melody over this type of beat is kind of crazy, and like the way that you come in with different kind of flows depending on the part. Like the hook is so, it's Sound of Music, right? Like it's so like melodic and nice. And then you're able to switch and show how much versatility you have, which is so cool. But like what energy are you trying to like pull from for something like this?
I felt like I make very annoying music, so I genuinely was just trying to tap in to like my deeper annoyingness through like the fact that I was already annoyed with like some niggas. So I was like, just channeling both of those things. And I thought like this sounds very, very like grimy. Like this section here, like hold on, just play it. Like just the whole rap section sounds a lot more what's the word? I guess like 90s in this version. Like it's a little less pop. But I think we talked about it when we were doing like the mixing, that like this would sound, when you show me the Ariana Grande like 7 rings ass like do I was like, okay, I know what we have to do here. Like let's go all in, because I knew the second verse would sound better, like more like, no, I don't give up because I'm on a Virgil. Like Zulema changed the whole game with that. So she really did. And so I just got to see that it was a pop record. And so and it just came from annoying ass niggas. That's it.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. And all of this was made in one day, one session kind of thing?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like I literally just I wrote it down on a piece of paper in the apartment. Men in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club at night. And then that was the first thing I wrote. And then the rest of it just kind of like
came out.
fell out afterwards. And
Amazing.
like he's a mess. All these bitches could see. Like we were just laughing, honestly.
Well, so. I'm about 95% sure that this is the vocal that ended up being on the record, because like I'm hearing the the imperfections of stuff, and I remember kind of working on this and stuff, and I'm pretty sure this is it, unless you tracked a few additional parts separately after. But I think this pretty much made it all the way through, which again doesn't always happen, but it just kind of felt good on this one.
It's psychotic.
It's great. I love this. Like you can see, as we do more of these, you'll probably see more and more of like our workflow, but it's pretty similar each time. It's like Franco's going to come bring something to the table that's, interesting, fresh, and Prado has tons to choose from. She's going to grab something right over, there are so many that not even Franco and I have heard that she's written that just don't make it. You know what I mean? They're just not up to her standard. And then comes here, she'll track a really good demo generally that has backgrounds in it already to get that energy across. And then it's just like, there's a whole pile of songs like that where it's like, okay, cool. When we have a moment and we think this is the new song that we should be working on, we'll bring it into my session, into Logic, and we'll bring it up. And then there's a whole lot of songs that are in that format right now that may or may not, make the cut to getting the final bow on top and the release and everything. But this is just generally the workflow that works, and everyone kind of has their expertise at what they do. And this is just allowing us to kind of all do what we do best and not have to worry about the other stuff, you know?
Yeah, I wanted to just lastly play the vocals solo then when I want you to play them solo when you open your project, just to quite literally show the switch up. This is gonna hurt somebody's ears. I'm so sorry. But here we go.
My intuition's deadly, you should stay off of my gram. And my team is hella heavy, we be flexing on your man. I'm a vixen, you a victim, I don't ever show my hands. Unless you need him, I'ma beat him, call me G for glamorous. I forgot you just a thotty, why you talk to me again? Got my G's on in the club, bitch, I throw a drink again. I don't need another nigga, I don't need another friend. Cause I'm on my own shit, you can eat my whole dick.
Amazing.
There you go,
it's
guys.
Great.
You can eat my whole dick. Thank you. I will stop sharing now.
It feels so good. Cool. So let me just throw some more light on in the background because the sun's setting here. I'll be right back.
The sun is setting. Yeah, no, that's what. Eat my whole dick.
All right, cool. I also just want to point out, I'm not sure if you can totally see this. Let me see. There's this is a vocal booth.
Damn.
You like that? So those coat hangers up there to hold the blanket. This is where we track vocals.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
legit.
Hell yeah. Fucking
you gotta
nice.
do what you gotta
They sound good.
DIY shit is the best, man. I don't care.
Organic.
I've recorded at big studios, expensive studios, and
it's all the same.
If you nice too, but I don't know,
if
man. There's something about the bedroom.
Yeah, if you have a quiet room, it doesn't matter where you are, it's all the same. So yeah,
if you have a room next to a highway and then you just pander money.
That's this, yeah. Like if you know Emily Moore's Music Fashion, the one that just came out, that was recorded right in that little booth. There you go.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
So good.
Okay, cool. So let me share my screen now, and let's go into the
Cerebro
final evolution of this song. Let's go over here. Boom. Okay, so this is what it ends up looking like. Lots of bright colors. When it's Prado's music, you got to make nice bright colors for it.
Gotta make it gay as hell.
Well,
taste the rainbow.
Part of it is just like Logic only has a rainbow, right? There's no red. There's no he's got gross brown, so you kind of just work with the bright colors. That's kind of nice. So you can see
fire.
there's a lot of kind of stuff split out. I've made more 808s out of Franco's 808. The drums have stayed pretty close. You can see a bit of arranging going on, moving stuff around. The vocals, everything's split out and has different effects on it, which I'll go through. And then this is the lead up at the top here. But in comparison to Gucci Store, it's just a much more simple, straightforward song. So yeah, what they've been mentioning so far is like the only real actual addition I made to the song, production wise, not arranging wise, is just the one sound of the synth off top, which is this little thing. That little thing is just, I don't even know, probably something in Omnisphere, and I'm just like, let's give a little tidbit of where we're entering for this song. Let's give the intro a bit more interest, and then
little Ariani.
Yeah, exactly. It's just adding some pop in, adding some pop interest into it. So yeah, other than that, you can see like that's Franco's arpeggiated thing here. And we have the 808s and the drums and everything. So the beat was pretty much the same. It was just kind of my job on this one was more so, okay, let's try to like amplify the best parts of what this is and try to, make.
I love that synth at the end. That's
I'll show that. That's a little Easter egg. Okay, so yeah, so like what I was trying to do is just like get the gloss out of Prado's vocal, because it is very poppy. Like that melody is just extremely catchy. And then also get the dirt in Prado's vocal where necessary. So in the second half of the chorus or of the verse, you'll hear there's, crazy distortion going on and stuff underneath to kind of push her performance. But yeah, so I'll just play the production by itself first so you can hear what's going on. And then after that, we can go through the vocal stuff. So this is the off top production.
Yo, this shit hard.
Cool. So we'll stop it there. That's a lot to kind of go through, but yeah, you can hear most of it's still Franco's kind of original intent. You can hear the little chop that Prado did. I've thrown that in there because that was just a sick part. And yeah, so what I ended up doing was adding a few additions on the 808 to kind of add some dimension, because Franco's 808 is super cool and that was the heart of it. But I felt like with a 45-second beat, that's cool, but as soon as how long is the song at the end of it? It's a 2-minute song, which is short still, but it needs some sort of dynamic changes in the whole thing. So instead of just having 108 kind of being the only thing that goes throughout, I ended up duplicating out the 808 into 3 different sounds of that 808, pitching them, distorting them, adding microshift to like make them wider and stuff, just so that in different parts, it's kind of emphasizing what's going on. So off top, I'm pretty sure this is just the Franco 808. No, so this is Franco's 808. I've duplicated it and I've added a microshift, like a chorus, to it. And you can't see it because you can see mix 3.0. In an earlier mix, I had thrown distortion on it. There's a few things like that you'll see. It's like, why does it sound so different? This is the 3rd iteration of this mix as things go. So I've, consolidated things, bounced stuff out. So this is a distorted kind of feeling 808. So the reason I did that is because I'm like, I don't want to give away how good it feels when the drums drop in with the kick and everything, but it felt like it needed something to kind of pull in that intro bit. So this is when Benita just starts the vocal. I just wanted it to kind of like set the mood, have a bit of support to it, so it's not really hollow. But then as soon as the beat drops, then boom, we're in with the Franco 808, and it's got some impact. So I'll just play that.
Men in black,
without it,
can't get in the club
completely
at night. Always capping on my line. Why he got me?
And then we go into the actual part, which has Franco's 808 hitting. So that's chilling the whole way through. And then we have this guy continue through, and this one is super wide, on a spectrum. It's like it's hitting on the right and the left, and then Franco's 808 is straight down the middle. So you get this super wide kind of bass feeling, which is cool. So the 808s together sound like this. So you can see what each one is doing there. It's kind of
creating sections.
Exactly. It's just kind of adding like atmosphere and effect and everything. And then Franco's kick is just
007.
Yes. Franco's kick is just powering through the whole thing with that. You can hear the sidechain going on there. Okay, then we go into another 808, which is again Franco's 808, but I've just mangled it like crazy. This is when Benita starts going in on verse 1, I guess is what you call it. And I'm like, okay, this thing needs some like dirt and craziness to it. So it sounds like that.
Intuition's deadly, you should stay off of my gun.
So that's just dirty and messy and like getting some grime in there. And then
Can
when
we release like a dramatic version?
This is the dramatic version. What are you talking about?
Yeah, true. Like extra dramatic though, like just only evil noises.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and then halfway through that verse, I throw in that wide one again, and you get some extra support. So together, let's go from here.
It's giving Hereditary.
Yeah. Yeah. So together, they just have a bit more oomph, and this is when Prado's going, how they say, off.
You just a thotty while you talk to me again. Got my chase on in the club, bitch, I'll throw a drink again.
If it only has a kind of a soft 808, it's just not gonna do what Prado's getting across there. So after that, we have our little breakout section or dropout section where this is an 808 as well, which I've done another one down here. So that's just filling in the space. I've pitched it up either 1 or 2 octaves there just to kind of keep the flow going. But it's like, okay, I don't want to take away the impact of when the drums come back in. So let's have the same kind of harmonic information, but when it comes back in, we get that sub underneath again. So that goes like this.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club at night. Always capping on my line. Why he come?
So with that, I just have the 808 chop with it. And then we have this 808 do a little fancy little glide into it. I just lost it. Where is it? Here. Just to kind of slip back in.
In the club at night, always capping on my line.
It's the little things.
I love it. I love it. It's so clean. It sounds so clean.
So then we have the same thing. The 808's kind of driving through, and then they switch over to these ones as she switches parts. Switching back to these ones. Add that back in. And then we go into the what do you call this? The bridge, I guess. Where it's like, okay, again, let's see what we can do with this 808 to kind of add some new interesting textures to it. So these 808s sound like this. And then they stop. And then we're really in. So Men in Black, obviously the movie, I'm like, okay, how can we sneak some of these references in here in any way? So like that's
not get sued.
Yeah. So that's like, I was like, how do we get some like alien energy into this just for my own enjoyment? And so one of the things that I did is you'll hear in the vocals, there's like bit crushers, phasers. There's this one noise I made in the drums to help with transitions, which is based off of, I'm going to blank on the name right now, but the thing that they hold in Men in Black where it makes you forget.
The motherfucking
neuralizer or something.
Yes, thank you. So I'm like, okay, how can we recreate something like that where it's like kind of playing on the idea of Men in Black? And so that's the kind of stuff that I like to kind of like, that's how I get fresh ideas into songs generally, is like, okay, I hear the song, I know what this is, but like, how can I come at it from a third party opinion and kind of add some freshness into it? And some like something you normally don't hear. So this is an 808, you know, but you don't usually hear an 808 in that kind of role. So I'll play it just with the lead so you can hear what's going on.
He's a mess, all these bitches can see.
And we're gonna get a crash. Let me just turn some things off so we don't have crashes. That should be fine.
He's a mess, all these bitches can see. Know you lurk on the gum or you feeling the feet. I'm a slayer on the decks, you so funny to me. Boy, I know super hot like 100 degrees.
And then we're back in to hitting with the 808 and everything kind of locking in. I made this 808 not hit as hard down here because I still wanted to give the final chorus its kind of like weight at the end. So this 808, this is just an 808 arrangement song. That's all I did. So this one is just nasty. So that's over this.
Make it technological.
No, super hot like 100 degrees. No watch like I'm Keith, happy custom on a Virgil. Had to switching bands, hair blonde, sipping purple. Money tight, pussy need some wave control. I might pull up.
I'm trying to add like interesting elements into the song that don't get in the way of Prado at all, because the production, Franco did such a good job of like laying such a perfect bed where like you can do anything over this and nothing's going to get in the way vocally. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to get in the way of anything. How can I add energy and interest? And the way to do that was to just kind of play with the low end the whole way through the song to kind of keep it dynamic and interesting. So that's the 808 goes there. And then we have 3 808s going at the end. So once the last chorus drops, sounds like this.
Pull up to your shop and watch my cash info. Like Men in Black, sluts, no lie. Can't get it.
Which is the most dirty version of it. It's got 3 808s. It's got this guy. Same kind of feel with the wide one. And then with Franco's, or no, this is with the distorted one down the middle. So beefy.
Jeez Louise, bro.
So hard.
Astro.
Exactly. Yeah.
Astro.
So yeah, I just wanted to try to like add some dynamic to the song because it was just a very simple beat.
You went ham as hell, bro. Damn. Yo, can you just real quick, the bar 37, just before bar 37,
yeah,
the 808 thing, how did you
this thing?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
What is that?
Okay, so this is it's a few plugins on top of each other. I don't have it anymore because it's part of the old Logic file from the first mix I did.
I see.
But I'll tell you because I use these tricks all the time. So one of them, it's a tremolo. You can hear it's going wah, 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 wah.
Tremolator? What did you use?
It either would have been Tremolator from Sound Toys or the built-in Logic tremolo.
Okay.
Both of them do exactly the same thing. At this time, it would have been the Tremolator from Sound Toys. And just a quick, whatever that is, 8th or probably 16th, just going up and down really quick. And then I'm adding a phaser to it. Actually, it's probably, what would it be? It was just this guy. I use this all the time. Just kind of bring down the mix, play with this stuff a bit. But that gives it that like kind of like digital kind of thing going on. And then obviously it's cranked up 2 octaves, so it's higher, and I've distorted it. So that's the combo. And that's how you get that kind of crazy sound. So the flanger makes it kind of like sound like it's not in the middle. It's kind of moving around. And then the tremolo is just making it like really vibrate. So it's like, what's going to happen next? You know, just kind of like setting up like, where are we going next? And then what I like about this is it doesn't immediately drop back into the chorus. It's like, oh shoot, we're going a little bit harder on the next part with, you know, where Prado goes. Like, credit to her for the arrangement of the vocals. There's a lot of cool ideas in here that I kind of just got to play off of.
Yeah.
So that's it for the 808s. Like I said, that's probably like the main thing I did. There's only one other sound that I haven't talked about that I added, which is this thing here. It's in the last chorus. It's pretty quiet in the mix, but it just kind of adds some craziness. I'll turn it up so you can hear it. So that thing is just adding some like room and verb so that the last chorus kind of feels a bit bigger, has more space, and again isn't getting away of the vocal at all. It's pretty far back. It's lower in pitch and volume, so it's just kind of adding some width and stuff like that. We're about to run out on this share screen on Zoom again, guys. I'm gonna have to figure this out for next time. Yeah, I guess you only get an hour each time. Well, for next time I'll figure something else out. We'll just use Facebook or something. But while we're at a pause, I'll just stop sharing. I'll call you guys right back.
Sure.
Bye. All right. I'm going to switch over to, what is it? This, I think. Hold, please. This is going to be here. And then while we're here, let me just make a new meeting. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Hope it's interesting. If you have questions about anything, I do have the chat right here. So I will be available to answer anything, and so will Prado and Franco. All right, let me just share this with the group. Boom. Okay, so they should be hanging out in a second. We'll see. There's Prado.
Oi.
Hello.
Alai.
And there's Franco. We're back. All right. What up, gang? Okay, so we're going to switch back to Logic, which I think is this. No. The old-fashioned way. Boom. Okay, and we're back. Okay, so yeah, so that was it for the 808s. And then there's this transition sound that sounds like this. It's a bit of a collage of sounds. Just for context, it's here. So that is this. So it's got that neuralizer type sound in it. It's got some weird like sci-fi sounds tied into it.
Some nerd shit.
It's just letting me be my nerdy self, and for some reason Prado allowed it. So that just kind of like helps with transition. So I'll play it without that. and so you can hear, and then with it, it just kind of helps push things a bit.
Can't get in the club at night, always capping on my line.
Yeah, that's cool, but what if we add in a little bit of little hype?
Can't get in the club at night, always capping on.
It's almost acting like a crash cymbal, you know, just something to kind of woo, you know, we're into a new section, little
like,
riser type thing.
Transition.
Exactly, and it's not too loud. I didn't want it to take over. Again, like in pop music, this ended up being quite a pop song at the end of the day. It's like, let the vocal just chill on top, and
it's crazy because I feel like it did a lot better because it's in a lot of hip hop playlisting.
Yeah,
which is like kind of crazy because we actually managed to like merge both worlds properly.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a tough game to play, but I think it's because of the process of how we made this song and the mentality, right? So like Franco was not making a pop beat, just no way, right? And then you, Prado, are the one that said like, well, you're the one that said like, okay, cool, like yes, this is not a pop song, pop beat, but let me write a pop hook over it. And then it magically became more of a pop song. And then when I heard it and started getting into it, I'm like, okay, well, this is clearly a pop song mixed with hip hop underneath. So let's fuse these worlds as we can. So that's why I didn't overdo the production to like, you know, add in crazy like risers and stuff like that in general, as you would with pop music, because I'm trying to like hold true to the hip hop genre, the beat style music, where it's like a looping beat, but you know, have some sort of arrangement going on so that it kind of toes the line.
And I think after we made Gucci Store, I don't think there's any other way for us to like look at it anymore. Like I feel like we just constantly are making you know, like shit that's just gonna be in certain, like we're gonna need the transitions all the time and shit like that, just because I think I don't even make music in regards to like if it makes sense in the song. I feel like I'm such a section based person, so that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, this is a second verse, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Like thinking about like no one's gonna hear, but my other and shit, like those songs were just natural, but they like the sectioning works out because when you put it through like all your shit, like it makes sense.
Yeah, there's
pop wise, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, there's not a lot that it takes to make something go from like demo status to record status, is the kind of like framing that I use for it. One of the easiest things to do is just to add in transitional elements from one part to the next so that they kind of like the song flows together, you know? So it's just about finding. Sorry?
Sorry, I was like, did you see this comment? It's like, I love the little audio sections that help just take something and just elevate it just that little bit, then packages everything together. Yeah, and that's what Xander's like whole, like that's the whole point why I'm like, I love working with Xander, because he can put so many effects and like all of the Men in Black effects and stuff and like all that kind of shit. Like we're so game for like the chicks and the gimmicks. I think we're always with the bullshit, and like just the fact that there's like 808s in here like does not surprise me. Like that's it is, because I'm like, of course we always just like made something kind of like, I feel like when you're working on my music, you're breaking like all the rules.
Yeah, which is why I love working on your stuff, right? Like it's always like, I always get delivered in these contexts a great product to start with, like a great top line and a great beat. And I'm like, oh, wow, I have so much room to just do stupid stuff and see what works, and kind of just like add on top. And what I always like to say is I'm trying to see the vision for like what each individual brought to the table and enhancing each side of that. So Franco had a vision for this beat. Even if it was made in 15 minutes, he still had an energy he was going for. And then Prado had, you know, her own vision for how to kind of take it in a different direction. And then it's me kind of like trying to see both of those, elevate those, and then say, okay, how do we really glue this all together and make it interesting, engaging all the way through, and something that people want to go back to and like hear more and more. So this is
Franco, like incredible. Like this is one of my favorite like Franco beats. Like the first time I heard it, it was like so like revolutionary in my brain that like I knew I had to record, but I think I was like, I had like a sore throat or something like that, like in like 2019. And I was like, just me, like not now, in 2019 when like everything was, you know, normal. And then I was I was like, damn, we need to get into the booth and like record on this beat, because like it was just so fire. Like I remember Power Glide. Gliding in the Lamb with the Power Glide, you know?
The crazy thing about one of the craziest things about our process, for me at least, when I send you something, I don't know what I'm gonna get back ever.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't even know what you like. I don't even know what you will choose, what you're gonna do. First of all, the choices sometimes. Really, this shit? Like, you know what I mean?
When I send you a rock
I really
yeah,
I really like
no one
this
will ever
beat.
see this.
So I even though I do really like this beat, I was still shocked at how melodic the approach was and the songwriting over it. What I was like, whoa, really this? But there's too many times where I'm like, this shit? You're gonna write over this?
Yeah.
And then, but it always makes sense. And you know, our process is really the equal contribution of like everybody. Like everyone's doing their part. Like Xander doing what he does best, what I do best, you know, starting ideas and just like coming up with stuff, and you really writing the song.
I love how the challenge for us now is no, it's so funny because it's like we like made this song and so fast. Like I feel like it was like less than 3 days.
This might be one of the like combined. This might be one of the shorter ones.
Yeah, like the way faster ones, and then we're just trying to stretch out stream content for it now. It's like we're like yeah. So we did when in reality like this was just everyone's fucking instinct.
It's a very instinctual song, big time. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of like afterthought.
We didn't really talk to each other. We just liked what we did.
Yeah, which is great.
We're like, okay.
That sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. You know.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, that you cut off a little bit. What did you say?
Oh, I said sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. But like, it's nice when it does. It's easier.
It's so nice.
Or like did we even do mixing notes that crazy? I think I remember.
Dude,
I remember getting
I'm telling you,
and this was it. I think
like, when I got it. It might have been it.
So I'll tell you
anything like the first. Like, this is perfect.
Yeah, the first mix I did on it. This is one of the first songs I like actually mixed. You know, like for real, where it's like, oh shoot, I'm gonna mix this stuff. You know, this was early in my mixing career, I guess you would say. But Prado was like, no, I trust you with this. Let's do it. And so the first version that I did of it, I would say about 98% of it has lasted through till the last version that got mastered and all that. The only thing that ended up happening was I got better over the next year at mixing. And so I just like replaced out some plugins, kind of beefed up the drums a bit more, changed the vocal tone to make it a little clearer, like just things I had learned in mixing in general. Super, super subtle stuff that you can't really tell is any major difference. But yeah, this one was kind of just like, I made my edits very fast. Franco made his part fast. Prado made hers fast. Like it all just came together really quick. And then like the only reason there's additional mixes on this is because I was like, no guys, I can make it better. Just let me try. And then there's like a few little edits. But other than that, yeah, this was a very
Xander's a tryhard. He's like, it was already perfect. And then
no, it can be more perfect.
It's not perfect
yet. Classic.
And I'm like, yeah.
No, we good.
We're not touching. No. Once I get a master now, I'm like, actually now you just send me A and B, and like I really love those. That is like such a like dynamic way to work, because like he sends me 2 options and he's like, which one do you like better? And then he'll just go deeper into that pocket.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll make like a version that is pretty like this is like a newer thing we're trying. I don't know how often it'll end up happening, but like sometimes when I'm not sure if it's like, should we go this way or this way? Before I go super deep into the process of finishing production or getting into mixing, it's like, okay, like it can go here, but also like, hear me out. We can go way over here or something. And sometimes that hits and it's like, Prado's like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know we could like go this direction. And sometimes it's like,
Luigi.
Where, yeah, you'll hear that soon. And then there's other ones where it's like, whoa, pull it back. Like you lost the magic of the demo. Like, let's go back. So, and my feelings are never hurt either way, because it's like trying to just get it across the vision of what Prado wants to say. Right. But like, it's a nice process and a nice collaborative way to work where, you can kind of trust each other to play the part right and know when you've done enough and know when to kind of pull back and, you know, let everyone do their thing.
Yeah, and like I'm always gonna want the dirtier, more disgusting mix. So like, or like just the more like grimy shit, and then Xander will be like, but look at this clean pop, and then I'm like, yeah, you're correct.
Exactly. Yeah. So sometimes,
well, that you can actually, we'd never really compromise too much. I think like it's a good fair middle ground of like griminess, just because my delivery is always gonna be like kind of like stupid.
Exactly. So the one example, which I'm sure we'll break down at some point in the future, is Steven, where I had done a mix of it, a master of it. This was early when I was mixing stuff for Prado, but I had finished that song. It was great. We were all happy with it. And then like a year later, I'm like, no, I'm better at mixing now. Let me redo it. And then in my opinion at the time, I didn't listen in a long time, so I can't be subjective at this point. But like my opinion at the time, I'm like, no, this is like the new version I made is like a pop smash. Like it's so much better. Prado's like, what are you talking about? The demo is the magic of it. And I'm like, I mean, it's your song. I really disagree, but I mean, sure. Yeah,
and then he let me release
and that's
the one
that's the one that's out, is like the dirty, like in my opinion, not very well mixed version of it that has a lot of distortion where it shouldn't, and like all this stuff. But like I do understand there's a magic to that first kind of go at it, and people love it. So like, who am I to say?
Joking?
You know?
You did that like a week before the release.
Yeah, I know, because I'm like, no, wait, I think I can do better.
There's no way in hell that's gonna happen. But like, and also just the. Like, I don't know, it was so funny because it was the first release ever, so like I understand. I totally was like, I get what you're saying, but like I swear to you that like we like got signed from these songs.
Well, like, that's true. Literally, that's true. Yeah. So so that's a bit about our collaborative working environment. It's always evolving. I mean, we can't be in the same place at all now, so that is what it is. It's nice when we
now it's here.
I was gonna add that I think our team has a very healthy tug of war chemistry, like in terms of like, hey, I really know what I want, let me do it this way. But then you'll argue and be like, hey, no, but look though.
Mm-hmm.
And then whether it's like grimier or cleaner or more pop or like less pop, there's always like that A and B, like now, and we're getting, as the years go by, I think we're getting better at just like getting faster and like getting to the middle ground, the healthy middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously the artist is always right, but I think we're really good at like listening to one another and being like, hey, you know what? Like, no, there's value in that.
Yeah.
No, and I think for the first time ever, just like the fact that we're able to like my vision for it was completed by Xander. Like I felt like he did his job already. 100%. So like the imperfections and erratic nature of everything like that, I feel like we have to preserve all of that shit, especially like that's why I'm so proud of Gucci Store, because I feel like the erraticness and like the stupidity of it like was translated through correctly. And I feel like if Steven wasn't like a grimy grungy like guitar mess, then like I wouldn't have like championed it that crazy,
right?
Just for me, but for Xander, like of course that's like, well, honestly that was the first thing we were coming out with.
There's a bit of an ego thing involved, which I always have to let go of, is like, okay, my technical skills may not be on the forefront of display here. It's not like this is my most technically good mix or whatever, but it's like I'm a producer first. I'm not like, mixing is something I just like figured out in the last 2 years because no one else is going to be able to do what we wanted, right? I'm like, I know what this is supposed to sound like, so let me figure out how to get the mix. Like I learned how to mix and master because I'm like, no, I know what this is supposed to be. I'll figure out how to do it. And so like, like when it comes to my production brain, it's like feeling. I don't care about any of the technical side. So when it comes to the mixing side, it's like, ugh, guys, trust me, I can mix better. Trust me. But also, who cares? Like if it feels good, then we're all happy.
Yeah.
It's a file at the end of
the day, like. And that's and with that, it's interesting. Like on this song, anyone that knows like mixing or working with like music at a higher level, looking at this mix bus is kind of a joke. Like I would never do this at this point, but if I take this off and try to change it to what I use now, the song dies. It just doesn't have the same energy, which I did try. You can see some of it's over here. It just didn't work. So I had to go pull up the old like mastering all in one thing and like leave on this weird like EQ thing and all this, just because that's at the time that was the magic that I had. And so sometimes that's, when you're working in the moment and adding stuff on, it kind of just sticks through. But okay, that's enough philosophy for a while. Let's go through the vocals and talk about this stuff. So, Yes, as Prado said, there is a little thing off top, a little laugh, which is this. Which is another thing for me where I'm like, okay, let's get into this chorus in the right way. So Prado really wanted to have this at the beginning.
Call me G for glamour.
Which obviously we're pulling from.
So fire, bro.
I
love that.
You're spoiling Gucci Store in essence, which is funny. And then I'm like,
didn't even produce.
I'm like, this is cool. Starting with this, if it'll play. But it didn't excite me, and so I'm like, how do we get some more evilness and Prado-ness into this? And so I'm like, there's this laugh in one of these random takes. I'm taking it and I'm using it, and then I just added some.
Ever again.
Yeah, and then I just added some delay. Just doing some random stuff to kind of make it an effect, and then we're into the song. So lead vocal by itself. I'll just play a bit of that acapella so you can hear Prado in all her majesty.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club at night. Always capping on my line. Why he got me, I decline. Men in black, wanna taste, but we just eliminate. Always capping, never choice. When he message, don't reply.
Come on.
When he messaged y'all, do not reply,
Don't
bro.
reply.
The biggest power you have is your voice.
Advice.
There you go. So yeah, like that as an isolated vocal is great. I did go in and melodyne it and do a bunch of whatever. And I ended up, we'll do a bit of the technical side if you guys want to hear that stuff. What's up, Donna?
Oh my God, Donna, I love you.
And I'll show a bit of this in case some of you are interested. You heard the demo vocal. This is the demo vocal tuned and stuff like that. But all I've done here is take out all the mud. Prado's voice on this song is super high, so I can take out even more of the low end body stuff. And then just going into auto tune, pretty soft on it. Like I'm not cranking the auto tune, but it gives it that pop shine that auto tune does.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie.
It's just catching a little bit here and there, but kind of centering it a bit. And then I was using the classic Logic compressor. It's barely grabbing it.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get.
And then we're into Slate just through a mic emulation, and then into this plugin, which I love. I usually love using it for its reverb and delay. It's like a one knob plugin, but this one just kind of adds some pop spice to it.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie.
Nothing crazy. And then we're into some delay with this. I'll take this off and this off so you can hear the dry.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club at night. Always capping on my line. Why?
So it's a great vocal. You can hear a bit of this was recorded where you are right now, right, Benita?
Yeah, in the fucking
the
road.
So you can hear a tiny bit. I use some plugins to get rid of noise and stuff. Like one of them is like I use the RX stuff from Isotope to kind of get rid of some of that, and then Bruce Free, I think is how you say it. That's not how you say it, but
most artists use the Rode, the RHO.
There you go.
Yeah. You use
the actual highway.
The
yeah.
ROAD.
So like this plugin, you won't see it now because I probably bounced it out at this point. But like it listens, if you have some of the background noise, it will listen to it, process it, and then wipe it out of that version. So there was a lot more, like with all Prado stuff. Track there's a lot of background noise that I end up having to like work from, so you can hear a bit of it.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club at night.
Just kind of at this point, it sounds like there's a fan on the background, but once you throw on delay and like all that, you can't tell anymore. You can kind of work with this stuff.
Amazing.
There's a lot of work that goes into this. Don't like. This is probably the hardest I worked on this song was getting the vocals to sound pop and clean. So it's not an easy process. It probably took like 45 minutes just to get rid of all the crap and make it sound good. Like all the background noise and stuff, and then melodyne and all that. But like once you're at this process, then it sounds good, So just a simple tape echo.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club.
So this is adding, it's called slap delay, super, super fast. It's just kind of like adding some width to it. If you hear on the right and left of it.
So sick.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie.
It almost creates like a mini room. And then there's this one bus that's going, and this is like the only effect on the vocal. Usually, like I wouldn't do this anymore, but I just kind of put it all on one, I guess. And with it.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club at night. Always capping on my line. Why he got me, I decline. Men in black, wanna taste, but we just eliminate. Always capping, never choice. When he message, don't reply. Men in
So just a 16th and 8th dot echo, just kind of adding some width, classic pop stuff. Like this is where I want to try to really elevate the pop side of this song. It's with the vocal treatment and all that. And then into some vocal, I don't know what that is, probably nothing. And then I'm just wiping out the highs and the lows so that the reverb isn't getting in the way of the vocal. It's letting the vocals shine on top. And then it's got some, like you're only hearing the mid of that effect. And then let's see if there's anything else on here. And then just into a tiny little EQ to get rid of some mud. And that's the vocal treatment on the lead. Oh, that's a lie. There's actually a little bit more. Hold your applause. There's an EQ. We're using that, I guess. And then, again, a lot of this I would change at this point. I love this compressor. I use it on like every song. It just adds...
Del Rey.
El Rey, yeah. Yes, the Lana El Rey.
The Del Rey.
Yeah, this thing is like doing a lot of work to get it present and center right down the middle.
Men in black,
you can see
all
I'm compressing
sluts,
really
no
hard.
lie. Can't get in the club at night. Always
Just kind of slamming it, and then into like a little bit of, I guess in this context I was using this for de-essing.
Men in black, all sluts, no lie.
Kind of controlling some of the highs because there's a really bright vocal.
Sluts.
Yes, and then cleaning up a bit of harshness, and then limiting it so that nothing crazy comes out.
Men in black, all
He's just
sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club at night. Always.
And that's the vocal treatment. Okay, but that's the boring stuff. Now let's go into the effects of where it got interesting. So we get into that verse where she starts going.
My intuition's deadly, you should stay off of my gun. And my team is hella heavy, we be flexing on you, man. I'm a vixen, you a victim, I don't never show my hands. Let's you need him, I'ma beat him, call me G for glamorous. I forgot you just a thotty, why you talk to me again?
Okay, so this is where we get into some fun territory. I'll show the backgrounds after, but I try to support the vocal in any way possible to kind of amplify what the energy of it is. So obviously she's going in, and then she's leveling up going in to like another level in the second half of the verse. So it's like, how do you, without getting obnoxious, support that? And this is the way that I did it. So that with the lead just is a lot more energy.
You just a thotty, why you talk to me again? Got my J's on in the club, bitch, I'll throw a drink again. I don't need another nigga, I don't need another friend, cause I'm on my own shit, you could eat my whole day.
And then you'll see, I'll show the backgrounds in a sec. They also have that dirt to it. This is the chain I had for that, if you guys care. It's just hard auto-tune, I assume. Yeah, hard auto-tune into a flanger, like I was talking about, making a chorus wide effect, and then this plugin I no longer use, but it's like a guitar distortion pedal. And so it's just literally like throwing it through like a distortion pedal that a guitarist would use. But that's the kind of stuff that just like, again, adds some interest. What is this?
Slut!
Yes. Okay, so little things like this are everything. Like, I love doing stuff like this. It's like, okay, this is an iconic little moment. How do we make this more, like, how do we make this actually iconic? So, you know, she's going in, doing her thing.
All day. Men in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club.
And then just adding, like, she has some reverb on there and stuff like that. And that's just the magic of Prado doing Prado. And then let's go through these backgrounds on this part since we're here. So backgrounds by themselves. Just the right and left of the chorus. And then
hella heavy, we be flexing on the man. I'm a vixen, you a victim. Show my hands. I'ma beat him, call me G for glamorous. I forgot you just a thotty, wait, talk to me again. My G's on the club, bitch, I'll throw a trick again.
And then it gets crazy.
I don't need another friend, cause I'm on my own shit. You could eat my whole day.
Again, that's another moment. Who says that in a song? Prado does. So
eat my whole dick.
So you gotta like, it's like when you're on stage or when you're performing, you gotta like overdo it with your hands when to like make it feel believable and supported. So in the same way, nobody says that in a song. Prado does. And so it's like, let's make it intentional. Let's make it a moment. Just the same thing as the sluts thing. Like, let's So I just threw on a ton of distortion and crazy stuff. So as a vocal part all by itself, it goes like this.
Don't need another friend, cause I'm on my own shit. You could eat my whole day. Men in black, all sluts, no lie.
Just adding a bunch of energy, adding some interest, all that stuff. Okay, then we're into the next part where we have this guy. Just she's hyping herself up, as you do. Which is great because like what she's doing is like the beat drops and then she's setting herself up to hit the drop again. Or like the beat.
Can't get in the club at night. Always
so you can hear that in there. She's hitting with the beats, right?
Can't get.
Boom.
Always capping on my line.
And then that is where the laugh comes in. It's pitched down. It's like that's like the tongue-in-cheek of Prado.
This is so embarrassing.
No, I think it's epic.
I'm going through this and I'm like,
the genius.
I don't even want to laugh. I don't even want to react. And now Emily's comment. You said,
what's this?
Let's accentuate and distort dicks and sluts in this song.
Absolutely.
Never a dull second in the song, no sir.
no, we're trying to make every moment special in here. Yeah.
We're trying to highlight everything I say wrong. And that's just my laugh. Like I literally can't tell the difference of when I laugh after I hear my own laugh.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, the laugh I think is a great addition to this. The reason, one of the other reasons I put it at the top of the song, it's like, hey guys, like this is kind of a joke, you know, like let's like, but it's like an evil joke, you know, like if you know Prado, that's like what it is. It's her energy, right? So it's like, it's cute, but it's also not necessarily only cute, you know,
menacing,
like exactly,
deceptive.
So yeah, so that's this part, and then we step into, I believe this is, let's just check it out.
Always capping on my line. Why he got me, I decline. Man in I decline. Man in
not happy.
That's pretty.
I'll just play. So in the background's here, nothing crazy going on. It's just like
hey, when you added the secondary the secondary energy, like vocals, is that was that just phased and EQ'd?
Where that distorted thing comes in and all that? This thing?
I think in the
yeah, so I showed it. That's this thing. So it's got hard auto tune on it, which gives it that kind of
flanger. Okay.
Yeah, and then we're going to a flanger, and then into a chorus, and then into a distortion pedal that again I don't use anymore, so I don't have it in Logic anymore. But I bounced it out. That's this. That is the same thing. I just had it bounced out, which is smart of me to do, so that we still have it to this day. So
why? I remember that part being so choppy, and when I recorded it, like,
yeah,
was that? I don't remember.
We'll get to that part in a bit. There's a bit of magic that goes down here. So in the chorus, I just did like I think it was like hard auto tune underneath. Yeah.
When he messaged,
so that stuff just adds atmosphere. It makes it interesting and kind of sets you up for the next part, which is going into here.
I just need you to understand why.
I'll just play this from the top so you guys can hear it.
Don't reply. I just need you to understand why. He's a mess.
So there's some fun things going on in there. You got the lead, and then you have Prado doing her thing underneath with these pitched weird things going on. Oh, that is not it. Oh, we're getting another zoom. Guys, we're gonna run through 3 zooms on one stream. Legends. All right. I think these are it. Let's see. It's official in my bag. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Stuff like that. Prado, why did you? What was the reason for adding this?
Mocking men.
There you go. Stupid men. We hate them.
Jump off a bridge. I'm
just kidding. Men have rights too.
I'm joking. It was to mock men, yes.
Yeah.
Not because there's honestly because they're stupid. Yeah. Everything you said was correct.
Okay. And then we have these little cute things which is cool. Dry, they sound like this. Not dry, but
Don't reply.
bit of reverb and stuff. And then on top of that, we have Bit Crusher, which gives it that cool alien feel. I don't know what you would call it.
Don't reply.
Just some interest, so it's not so boring.
Kanye.
And then that's about it for that part. It's a cool little part. It's just like, this is Prado's genius is coming through at every moment, where it's like everything, every vocal background is intentional and interesting and keeps you engaged. It's just awesome. It's just one of her strengths.
Only if the sluts ad lib is at the bottom of the bridge.
I don't know if it comes back.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we can make another version for you. I don't know if it comes back. I'll have to check and see.
Yeah, we'll just bounce it for you.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll just be sluts. Just the beat and sluts.
Yeah. We'll just make a loop version on SoundCloud.
Yeah, period.
A 10-hour loop. That's what they like, right?
10-hour sluts loop version.
Yeah.
He's a mess, all these bitches can see. Know you lurk on the gum, or you're feeling the feed. I'm a slayer on the decks, you so funny to me. Boy, I know super hot, like 100 degrees. No watch, I can keep her because I'm on a Virgil.
And again, we're stepping into her amping up the vocal. So I did the same thing, which is get some energy going.
No watch, I can keep her because I'm on a Virgil. Had to switch them bands,
With
hair down,
these.
sipping purple. Money tight, pussy needs some weight control. I'm like, pull up to your shop and watch my cash info. Like,
Just adding some interest, some width. These backgrounds are pretty quiet, but they're adding like super bright width on the sides. And then we go into the chorus at the end.
like men in black, all sluts, no lie. Can't get in the club at night. Always cap.
And then this is a little thing where we're bringing everything together. So we have this sound in there. We have her going why.
Ariani.
We have like all the stuff is in there, you know. This with these.
That's no lie. Can't get in the club at night. Always cap in my
And then even all the other stuff comes in.
Don't reply. Don't reply.
So nice.
Can you play
Don't reply.
Could you play the "Why'd You Call Me"
Absolutely. I
vocal?
think
Did you leave all of them in or just that one?
I think there's 3. I think these are it.
Oh.
No, these are I'll show this first while I'm on it. Check out these harmonies, guys. Come on.
But we just eliminate. Always capping, never tries. When he message, don't reply.
Oh, and then that with the lead. Just pretty.
Men in black wanna taste, but we just eliminate. Always capping, never choice. When he message, don't reply.
Crazy. Yeah. Sorry. What was the ad lib?
I just did some really annoying. Why'd you call me?
Yeah. Let me find those. Maybe.
I was
this.
like, did those make it? I hear them a little bit.
Yeah,
but
they
I
are
don't
in
know
there
if
for
it's just
sure.
one.
Yes, they're hard auto-tuned.
Yes.
Sound like this.
Why'd you call me? Why'd you call me?
Yeah, and in the mix like this.
But we just eliminate. Always capping, never choice. When he message, don't reply.
So not a feature, but again, it's kind of helping add some support underneath everything. That's kind of it for vocals. Again, it's a pretty simple song.
Sluts version on the way.
Yes. Yeah.
Alternate.
Okay, and then there's this one last little element that part of the production that was made because of a glitch in Logic where it just severely crashed. So at the very end of the song, listen to it, sounds like this.
When he message, don't reply.
And where did that come from? Okay, by itself, this is what it is. And what is that? Okay, so Logic was not behaving at the time, and it glitched hard, like bad, like this. This is the song.
Bro, that's a whole ass beat, bro. Give me that shit.
Yeah, that's a whole ass beat, bro. Send that through. We can sample that.
Yeah.
I did in the song. But you can hear it's all in there. I don't know what it did. There's some crazy thing going
Underwater
on.
version.
I don't see an MP3 in my email, bro.
I do actually remember sending this to you guys, being like, "What the heck happened here?" But I ended up using, like, you can even hear off top. Like, what is this? It was like meant to be for this creepy, weird song.
Destroy all humans remix.
So,
Destroy all niggas remix.
yes. And so I was like, okay, well, that's crazy. I want to use this at least a little bit. It didn't really work in the song.
You didn't have that running the whole.
No, so this is all muted. It's like this, and then it comes in at the end, and it's what you hear as the outro.
Never just when he messaged, don't reply.
It's that, which is
that's
a fun
so
little thing.
crazy because it sounds alieny, like UFO.
Yeah, it's like
shit.
it was too perfect. I'm like, how did this happen? And so without it,
God said, "Here's some sauce."
Exactly. Yeah.
From the alien.
That makes up for all the times Logic crashes on me and I lose stuff and all that. So without it, it's fine, but it's just cooler with it. Without it.
Always capping, never choice. When he messaged, don't reply.
It's just kind of an ending, but it's not a moment. You know, make moments. Make moments with your family, with your friends. Share those moments.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
With your sluts.
With your
big moments with your sluts, with your men in black.
There you go. So you can see that here's some old mixes. Let's not listen to those.
Oh no,
there you go. There you go, guys. That's the reference. See that? That's a reference.
No.
Unashamed. So when I'm mixing, I'll always have reference songs, and obviously this was like a no-brainer as a reference. So that's the song. If you guys have any questions about anything, about any of our processes, why we did what we did, Franco, Prado, if you have anything else to share about the song, I'm here to hear it. We also do only have 2 minutes left on the Zoom, so I'm gonna hang up and we're gonna have one last little Zoom party.
Lovely.
Lovely. Bye.
See you.
Okay, and then we're gonna go into Zoom here. We're gonna make a meeting. I'm just gonna switch this over so you guys don't have to watch this process. Whoop. Logic like this. Okay, we're back. Hopefully Prado will join in a sec. There she is. Cool. So yeah, that's the gist of how the song went from beginning to end, scratch to final record. I did master it in a different file, but unless any of you make a specific request, I don't need to show that because that's just very nerdy. But yeah, this is it. What else do you have to share about this song, Prado? Anything? Any remarks?
Yo, you're muted. You're muted.
I'll take that as a no.
I think. There we go.
Hey.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Hello. I think this is a very fun record. I'm like so happy to just see. I never got to see the stems, actually, matter of fact. So
there you go.
I'm just happy to look at them, and I knew the vocal work was gonna be fucking crazy. But I'm really happy to see that you like. It doesn't look like you like it's basically the lead vocal you tweak the most, and then like the rest of it is like more kind of like free. So I'm really happy that all of that survived, but it still managed to sound like such a pop record at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's all very preserved, but it's like super pop.
Yeah, I like all of these vocals. You can see they're your vocals from that demo. Honestly, most of it is just like. So again, I probably spent. Well, I haven't said this yet, but like I spent like with any of your songs 4 to 6 hours on vocal production, not adding effects and all that stuff. Like melodyning, getting rid of noise, timing things so that everything's locked in. Like it's a lot of work that goes in, but you can take demo vocals and turn them into glossy pop vocals if you know the right skills to kind of apply, but also just work on it and add, like, the time adds up into a better result over time. And then it's about adding levels to kind of like make things wider and, you know, doubling parts and stuff like that, and then adding distortion. And that's the beauty, like that's the whole process of vocal production in general after what you do, right? Because you do a lot of vocal production by yourself, which is the arranging, the ad libs, all that stuff. And then it's my job to just kind of like assume you were trying to do something like this and elevate it, you know?
Yeah, period. No, and I think so many bags are stepped in for this track. Yes, period. That's exactly the
vocal comping thing that Xander was saying. 4 hours. That's a whole bag, like in its like on its own, like that. There's people in the industry who do just that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not like there's really a lot of phases and like steps. Even if the song sounds like more simple, like I know this is a more simple one, but that alone gives the allows for a song like this to have that quality is because there's so much care and like effort and dedication put in.
At least on Xander's part.
On Xander's part, yeah. On Xander's part, I'm talking about Xander's part specifically.
I'm like, yeah. But on Xander's part.
Yeah, and that's why it sounds the way it is because there's really like when you put in that time and effort into the detail, it will be felt. Even if you don't know it, even if you're not an expert like audiophile, you know what they call audiophiles, like, oh, I'm such a audiophile, like, you know, like expert music critics or whatever. It will be felt, like those, like the extra 2 hours, it will be felt, like it counts, like a timed vocal and a non-timed vocal, like that. There's a difference. I mean, depending on the genre, obviously, like sometimes you can get away with it, but something like this, it's got to be locked in, and that's exactly why it took so long. But look at the result. Like it sounds, it's a banger.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the most streamed song I have right now.
There you go. Yeah, I'm glad that people like it. Like my mentality with all this stuff, it's slowly, like, you know, it'll evolve generally over time. So don't take me for my word in 3 years if I change my opinion. But like for now, like I really like that Franco can work on a beat for 8 to 15 minutes. And then kind of be mostly hands. He obviously gave notes on this as it was getting mixed and everything, but like he's kind of hands off at this point. Prado can do what she does, like where it probably took 3 hours, 4 hours to do everything. Like how long? So like that's a decent amount of time, but it's kind of like off the cuff, pretty quick, just kind of getting ideas out. Yeah. And then what I love to do is say like, here's some raw energy. In essence, is what they both did. They did like instinctual work that because of their training, because they've worked at this for so long and got really good at it, their ideas are already really refined. And then it's me going in and being like, okay, like how do I get this to like be on hip hop playlists but also be pop, you know, like thinking in that way, like how do I take this ball of energy and make it into an accessible world that people are going to want to enter into and listen to, hopefully on repeat, you know, because it's such a short song, it's infectious. It's like, okay, how do we get this interesting? So what do? We go in, we change the 808 sound so it's got variation. We add in a hooky little synth at the beginning, like just kind of elevate things. And in some songs,
we maximize.
Yeah, like in some songs like Gucci Store, that's like a 70-hour song by myself, like 70 hours of work put in. Because there's so much energy in that original demo that I think I can pull out. If you listen to the demo versus the final record, you can hear like there's a ball of energy there at the beginning, but like let's figure out what this thing is and really amplify it. And so on this song, this is one of the quickest songs we ever made from top to bottom. I think total, I'd say about 14 hours of work were done on my end, which is nothing compared to what I usually do.
Compared to the usual.
If I'm not doing like 20 hours of work on a song, I'll be like, wait a minute, like what have I not done yet? Like I forgot something, you know? And then it goes up to 60 hours like for Gucci Store and some of the other stuff I've worked on before. But like it does take a lot of work, but you can hear the original song from Franco to Prado is all there. It's just like, you know, we threw in a second verse, a very, very similar formula to Gucci Store where we needed a second verse. So we threw that in. And then just kind of like elevating each part of it. And then we get this finished song after it. And it's just such a fun process. I love doing it with these guys in particular because it's very instinctual and not.
Yeah, it's very, like we just kind of go with what we feel. Like I wish I could say more about like the technical aspect of actually recording and everything, but it's just something that like when you learn your style and you're an artist, you'll start to pick up on the things that you have like a knack for. And like for me specifically, it's like I heard this song and I heard all the beat chops in it already. Like I have a reference point of like Power Glide, which is like actually what are they? 3-6 Mafia. You know what I mean? It's actually 3-6 Mafia. Like that's what Power Glide, like the sample and that song is from. And so, you know, like I have this whole thing already mapped out, and then when I record it, it's like done. And so like, you know, it's hard for me to explain that process. But any artist that's like watching, it's like once you hone into that and then you have like an engineer and a producer that can complete your vision for you, that's when like, you know, the gears will actually start turning. Because I think like for us, our biggest thing was like even people just wanting to work with me or wanting to work with us, and like it feels just more, I guess, secure that I can go to any, like what Xander taught me and what Franco taught me was I can go to anybody and like create my own world out of like whatever is given, and then people can amplify on that, and like it'll actually be a record that like we can all vouch for and like be excited about. And I think like it did pretty well for being not pushed whatsoever.
Yeah, or organically, like it did quite well, and I think it's still gonna be growing as more people discover it, because this is a song that like it's just infectious. I think once people hear it, it's just one of those like, you know, at least for me, it's like, oh, I want to go back and hear this again. It's
Amen.
I hope that this song has a long life, and as the audience for Prado grows, that this will be one that people will come back to, in the same way that I think everything that's been released so far has a long shelf life, and like people can get a lot of enjoyment out of. Like we tried our best to, with the catalog for Prado, like come out like with bangers immediately, and so the entire catalog is just no misses. That's the goal here. Like
no misses.
Yeah, because
not one miss.
Yeah, because like obviously certain people are gonna like different songs because of their interest and stuff, but I think there's a lot of interesting and cool sounds in all of her songs that build out a really interesting world, where if you go from one to the next, you know it's a Prado song very quick. Because we have the same people working on the songs very consistently, but also because Prado's vision is channeling everything. And we like when Franco is making something or I'm working on something for Prado, it's like, okay, we know what she wants. Like she wants shiny things, she wants hard hitting things, and she wants it in your face, you know, like it's gotta be present and vocals loud, and like just it's gotta be, you know, abrasive in essence. Yeah.
Period. And now the video's at like 20K.
So yeah, we're
like,
way over 100,000.
Awesome too. I love the black fit plus shades, bro. Yeah, Men in Black. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yo, by the way, that's directed by you, right?
Yeah, directed by me, but it was honestly not my best direction. But now I'm directing more.
Hey, if enough people like this song and it starts bubbling up at a bigger level, maybe one day we'll get a music video for it for real.
Yeah, it's just a visualizer. I just directed the visualizer, so one day like a real music. Maybe one day I'll get a real budget. That's the real answer. There you go, girl. That's the truth.
I know there is a real concept for this music video. We've talked about it before.
Yeah, I had real concepts for this video. I just literally did a visualizer. Yeah. Because I'm smart.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's about it for the song. If you guys have any other questions, throw them in the chat and we can talk about them. But yeah, I love working on this song.
Real sluts.
Exactly. Yes. I love working on this song. Super fun. Working on Prado's stuff in general is always just, it's all very instinctual, throwing crazy ideas at the wall and seeing what sticks. And it's a joy to pursue where this sound is going to go next, because the next song that you guys hear from her is we went in on that one too. So there's
oh my god. Yeah, I totally forget that there's like actual music coming out, that's a real date and a real thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to tell them about Lifeline and everything. Damn.
Yeah, there's you've announced there's an EP coming, so a few more songs are coming very soon, and then I think this whole year you're gonna be
running.
Busy summer. So I'm excited for everyone to hear what we've been up to. There's a lot to come. So Franco, any closing words on this one?
Yes, I do. I guess a general note is the wait, what was I gonna say? Oh, you said throwing stuff on the wall, seeing what works. I've been very lucky to like work with the people that I work with, and this process that we have, I think, is a process that has been built over the years, and like the chemistry strengthened over the years. But I will say that the very, very first pack that I sent to Prado 2017 spring, like it was like 5 beats, and she sent it all back, full songs.
Crazy.
And it was I was doing a tutorial. I was doing a tutorial for YouTube. I was doing a tutorial for YouTube. And it was called Chop tutorial. And she's like, yo, what are you up to right now? I'm like, oh, I was just doing some YouTube tutorial shit. Like I'm doing like a chopping tutorial beat. And she's like, yo, send it over. I want to hear. And then she went quiet for like 4 hours or whatever, and then sent back, which you will hear, by the way, like the first shit we ever did. And so that process has pretty much like remained the same. Like it,
yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's just magical. Like even, you know, me and Xander and Prado, me, Xander, Prado, like, you know, like whatever combination. And that goes for everyone else in our team. Like it's just an effortless, I don't know, for me, blessing, to be honest.
I think we're so used to each other. Like we all lived in the same like we all slept in the same vicinity. Like we're so fucking used to all this shit now that like when we can recognize each other for like what is going on like artistically.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
That's a good thing.
Have a good night. Awesome stream. Yeah. Good night to you. Thank you. We will be doing many more of these. I'm excited to share more of these songs because every single one of them has their own unique story of like how they were built out, why they were built out, and all that. So if you guys want to see more, like, let us know if there's like more specific things that you want to hear about.
We should
go for it.
We should do a stream one time. Sorry, I just thought of this right now, but we should do a stream one time where you guys like basically take a shitty beat and demo. Like I'll come up with 3 shitty beat and demo like of my own, and then you guys, we have to work together and like do it through the fucking. Do you see the program costs money now?
What does?
Satellite? No way.
No.
Not fucking with you. I didn't even get to download it. I didn't even get to download it yet, yo. If someone has the crack, if someone has the OS X driver still, yo, send that my way.
Yo, I'm down to do that for sure.
Yeah, I think that would be really
fun to watch.
I mean, we might make a banger out of it. It might be completely dead, but like
no, it might be ass, but I also think it'd be funny to like just watch how like it's something like Pillow. You know what I mean? Like we can go so many ways that like people would just be like, what the fuck? And like we could see Franco disappear for like 30 minutes and come back just working as hard as he can while we do something like it's like a race to the clock. Like we just see what we come up with.
Yeah, that would be really, really fun. I think we'd need to book out a bunch of hours for it and people can tune in and enjoy it. But like we could make something together pretty quick and you guys would see completely what our process is for getting a Prado song, even if it's not the next hit or whatever, how it's done. Because again, we've made hundreds of songs.
Del Rey,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm down. We can talk about that further offline. But if you guys want to see anything else, other songs from hers, let me know, let her know, and we'll be doing this more as more stuff comes out. So thanks for tuning in, and until next time,
good night.
Stream Men in Black.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. See y'all.